Hello everyone, myself Bhumi Patel, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Instrumentation and Control. Today's our topic is the nonlinear system in the unit number 3, Introduction to the Nonlinear System. So first of all, we know about the what is the difference between linear and the nonlinear system, and after that we have to analyze of the nonlinear system. So first of all, as you study in the control system, linear system will be obey the superposition theorem. Okay, and the nonlinear system do not obey the law of the superposition theorem. The first condition is there. Then next, linear condition for the linear system is not depend of the initial condition. That means if any change in the input signal, suppose we deal with the closed loop system, this is my system. Okay, in that we have to connect the controller. This is my summing point and R of T is my input signal and this is my feedback element. Okay, and this is my output signal. The output signal is known as the Y of T. So simple a closed loop system is given. So any change in the initial condition that do not change in the output of the linear system. That means, as you know, as you are aware about that, we have to take the initial condition. Suppose x of 0 is equal to 0 in some of the example. Okay, so that type of system is known as the linear system. In the non-linear system, any change in the initial condition that will be effect of the output of the particular system. So if we can change the initial condition, that depend on the initial condition, the data of the output will be changed. Okay, now the third thing is that in the non-linear system, using the non-linear system, we cannot applicable the Z transform method and the Laplace method. If we apply the Z transform and the Laplace for this particular system, that time the must condition is there. We have to deal with the linear system. So using the non-linear system, we cannot solve the example using the Laplace and the Z transform method. And depending upon this type of condition, the stability of the non-linear system that we do not justify using the root locus method or the Zurich stability test. So first of all, our target is we have to find the particular control system, which type of system that we have to use, because if we know about the system linearity, after that we have to find the stability of the system. If it is the non-linear system, first target is that we have to convert this non-linear system to the linear system. But in some cases, it is not possible that every time we have to convert the non-linear system to the linear system. So we have to apply some another method so to find out the stability for this particular system. Okay, so non-linear system will be depend on the three things. The first one is the initial condition, the second one is the amplitude of this system, and the third one is the how depend on the system parameter the output will be changed. Okay, so this is all about the nonlinear system. Now our first topic is analysis of the nonlinear system. So we have to use the describing function for the approximation method to produce for analyzing the certain non-linearity in the control problems in the control engineering. Okay, as we discussed earlier, we cannot apply the root locus or the Zurich stability test or the bilinear method to find out the stability of this non-linear system. So we have to define some approximation solution, and for that we have to use the describing function. Okay, so analysis of the different non-linear control system is very difficult due to their non-linear behavior. So in practice, all physical systems have some form of non-linearity. if we deal with the physical system in the industry, so all physical systems have some form of the non-linearity. So sometimes it may even be desirable to introduce a non-linearity in order to improve the performance of a system or to make its operation safer. So for that we have to describe the non-linearity for this particular system. So we have to identify that this type of system is the linear or the non-linear. This is our first target to analyze of the non-linear system. Okay, so for that we have taken one simple example. Here a system is given, as you know, a mechanical system is given where the mass, spring and the damper. Okay, mass, spring and damper, it is the basic element of this mechanical system that you have to study in the control system. Okay, so mass is known as the M, K is the spring constant and F is our friction or the damper for this particular system, and X is the displacement of the system, and the force is applied to the system is F cos omega t. Here you know, whenever we deal with the linear system, we have to apply the force only F, but here we draw the non-linear system. The system considered is the non-linear. So the applied force in the form of the cos omega t or in the sin omega t, because the non-linear output will be depend on the initial condition as well, and the amplitude changes, the output of the non-linear system will be changed. So here the input data or the input force is applied will be F cos omega t. Now if we have to write the differential equation using this mechanical system, so if a system is assumed to be linear and a sinusoidal function is, if we have to assume that this type of system is linear, so what is the equation for this particular mechanical system? F cos omega t, that is equal to m x double dot plus f x dot plus ks. As you know, we have to take double differentiate with the mass and the single differentiate with the friction, where x is our amplitude of the response up to now. If we have to consider the linear system, x will be the displacement of the system, but the non-linear system will be depends on the amplitude of the response. So here x is the amplitude of the response. Now we have to deal the different value of the spring and we have to identify. Okay, so here we have to draw the graph x versus restoring spring force. So when the spring force is 0, K2 is equal to 0. So that time this type of spring is known as the linear spring. If we can get the value of K2 greater than 0, so this type of spring is known as the hard spring, and if K2 less than 0, this is the soft spring. So in the non-linear system, we have to derive the different value of K depending upon the system parameter, and we have to find the system linearity. Okay, so now if the spring is non-linear, so the restoring force is now K1x plus K2 x cube. Okay, up to now if the system is linear, we have to simply write the equation for the spring is K into x, but here if the spring is non-linear, so the equation of the spring will become K1x plus K2 x cube. So now the equation will become m x double dot plus f x dot plus K1x plus K2 x cube, that is equal to f cos omega t. Okay, now as we discussed earlier, when the K2 is equal to 0 for the linear spring, K2 greater than 0 for the hard spring, and K2 less than 0 for the soft spring. So depending upon the spring characteristic, the differential equation will be changed, particular for the non-linear spring. Clear? Now the response curve for the x versus omega will become. So we have to find out the differential equation. This is my differential equation. Now if we have to change the applied force or the input force, So the value of the omega will be changed. So we have to draw the graph omega versus x where the spring K2 greater than 0. So here we can get this type of response. Now this response is known as the jump response. Why? Because here you can see that when we increase the value of omega, the value of the x will be increased and we can get the point A. Again, if we can increase the value of omega, we can get the resonant peak. Okay, peak overshoot, and this point is known as the point B. After the resonant peak value, where we can increase the value of omega, we can get the value of x will be decreased and we can get the point C. After some time, again if we increase the value of omega, the graph will be suddenly decreased and we can get the point D, and after some time we can change the value of omega, we can increase the value of omega. After the point D we can get the saturation graph. So this type of response is the jump response for the nonlinear system. After it, as you know, if we can change the value of omega up to infinite, we can get the value of x is constant. So this is the saturation point for this particular system. So now our target is we have to decrease the value of omega. So we can go back to this graph. So we can get the point F. Okay, this is about when we have to use the hard spring. If we can use the soft spring, here K2 less than 0. So as you know, whenever we increase the value of omega, the value of x will be increased, we can get the point A. After again we have increased the value of omega, we can get point B. But after point B, at the K2 greater than 0, at point B we can get the resonant peak. But at the soft spring, if we increase the omega value, we can get the point B, but it is not a resonant peak or the peak overshoot for this particular system. So this is the graph for the soft spring, and this type of response is known as the jump response for this non-linear system. So whenever we deal with the any mechanical system and the input force will be applied will be in the sinusoidal form, that type of system, the graph or the response curve will become like this manner. Depending upon the spring condition, we can get the jump response of this particular system. So we have to continuously increase the value of omega. Up to now, the value of the x will become saturated, and after that we have to decrease the value of omega, and then we have to find the response of this particular system. Here only one displacement is given for this mechanical system. Same method will be applied for the more than one displacement for any kind of mechanical system. So this is the response curve of the x versus omega. Okay. Now the describing function is the approximation procedure for analyzing certain non-linear of the control from in the control engineering. So it is very difficult to find out the non-linear behavior. So we have to find some non-linearity for this particular system and for its operation safer. So here we are going to discuss two different types of analysis or the method for analysis of the non-linear system. Okay, the first one is the describing function method in the control system, and the second one is the phase plane method in the control system. So using these two methods, we have to find the different type of nonlinear system analysis. So the first one is the describing function. So the describing function method of a nonlinear system is defined to be the complex ratio of the amplitude and the phase angle between the fundamental harmonic component of the output to the input sinusoid. As you know, whenever we talk about the nonlinear system, the input must be in the form of the sinusoidal. So what is the output of this describing function? So the equation of the describing function that we have to derive, n is equal to y1 upon x angle of theta 1, where n is our describing function, x that is the amplitude of the input sinusoid, y is the amplitude of the fundamental harmonic component of the output, and phi 1 is the phase shift of the fundamental harmonic component of the output. If we know about the value of x, y and phi 1, we can easily find the describing function of the any type of nonlinear system. Okay, so this is the block diagram of the describing function. Here we can take the input r is equal to 0. We can take the two systems g1 of x and g2 of x, and between these two systems we have to connect the describing function n. So if x is equal to x sin omega t is the sinusoidal input to the n, and output y is the y, that is equal to y0 plus a1 cos omega t plus b1 sin omega t plus a2 cos 2 omega t plus b2 sin 2 omega t up to continue infinite. Okay, now we have to find the describing function for the nonlinear system. So we have to find some general equation for the nonlinear system, and for that, up to now, or for this system, we have to consider only low pass filter equation. So our equation will become y is equal to a1 cos omega t and b1 sin omega t. Here you know that the equation of the y is up to infinite, but we have to consider only the low pass filter component. So the equation will become y is equal to a1 cos omega t plus b1 sin omega t, that is equal to y1 sin omega t plus 5. Okay, where y1 is equal to under root of a1 square plus b1 square, as you know, and phi is equal to nothing but the tan inverse a1 by b1. Now what is the equation of a1 and b1? So b1 is equal to 1 by pi integration of 0 to 2 pi y cos omega t d omega t, and a1 is equal to 1 by pi 0 to 2 pi y sin omega t d omega t. The differentiation solution of this a1 and b1, that is given in this textbook, so you have to refer, but in the exam you have to simply write the equation of the output y depending upon the a1 and b1. And here we have just considered the low pass filter components. Clear? So this is the describing function. So we can define the describing function nx as is equal to y1 x upon x, and phi 1 of x, that is equal to b1 j a1 divided by x. So here nx varies with the input amplitude x. Whenever the value of the x will be changed, the value of the nx will be changed. So as you describe that, the nonlinear system will be depend on the amplitude of the input signal. So this method correctly predicts the existence and the characteristic of the limit cycle. So using this describing function analysis, we have to find out the characteristic of the particular limit cycle. Clear? And this is the graph for the describing function. If we have to deal with the different component that is used for the output equation y, so we can get this type of graph for the non-linear system. This is the describing function for the dead zone, and the second describing function that we have to derive the equation of the y, this is for the saturation region. So this describing function graph is for the dead zone. So here you can see that they will given the different condition for the y. If y is equal to 0, in which condition where the value of omega t will be vary from 0 less than equal to omega t less than alpha. We can get y is equal to m where the value of omega t will be vary from alpha less than equal to omega t less than pi minus alpha. Y will become 0 where pi minus alpha less than equal to omega t less than equal to pi plus alpha minus m pi plus alpha less than equal to omega t less than 2 pi minus omega, and y is equal to 0 2 pi minus omega alpha less than equal to omega t less than 2 pi. So depending upon the output value, we have to draw this type of describing function using the dead zone method. Same method will be application for the saturation describing function. Okay, so using the describing function, we can easily find the non-linearity for this particular system. Now, in the next session, we will study about the different types of non-linearity that is used in the control system and their behavior for this particular non-linearity. Thank you everyone. If anyone have doubt, then contact me in my email ID.